But the question, leaving sports behind, you become a columnist for Sports Illustrated. You become a radio announcer. You do radio. You do you do all of these things. So obviously, whoever made that vote or judgment in high school, at this phase of your life, you've obviously followed through with earning that title. But now, film. When or how did you wake up in the middle of the night? Were you on an airplane? I mean, were you just sitting around thinking? There has to be a way you're going, I'm going to spend all my time doing this.
I guess, was it an epiphany, or is it something you always harbored, like, one day I'm gonna make that film?
I'm just glad that I can be with people that can use epiphany in the middle of a sentence.
Oh, I don't know what it means, but I like to use it.
Like you guys are authors. I was a columnist. I was actually one of the first columnists at Baseball Weekly, which I guess is now
Oh,
Sports
sure.
Weekly, and I had articles published in Sports Illustrated and the New York Times, and so that was kind of nice. And I broadcast for more people than I care to remember. I think that I've had, and one of the things that appeals to me about writing is that it's a means of expression that I think that not a lot of players use. I could probably count on both hands how many baseball players are writers, and it allows me a means of expression
Okay.
that I don't think I can do broadcast-wise, because you're sort of confined to what you're watching.
And
you
you're
can go
talking
off
about,
a
you're
little
talking about the written word on the page now.
Right.
So, understanding that, the jump to movies, which is a different medium, is that something you planned, or you said, hey, I want to go try something else?
Well, part of my versatility, Rich, was that in my junior year, I
Yeah.
was in 2 plays.
Oh, really?
So you had the acting bug.
Musicals
Yeah.
or just
The Summoning of Every Man was one play. I was typecast as Strength. And
Could be worse.
and the yeah, I guess it could have been. And The Curious Savage was the other one. I was a doctor. I remember that.
it's from the diction, Billy.
Yeah, is that
Part
what
of
it
the
is?
part of the way
I
you
don't know.
enunciate your words.
Well,
with
that's
the doctor.
well,
Absolutely.
It's really nice of you to say so. Now, why'd I go southern with that? That's nice of you to say so. No. I've always had a little bit of a thespian in me, so it's kind of nice. Oh, and I actually act in my own movie. It
You
was
know what?
cheaper. It was cheaper than
By
way
the
to pay
way,
me nothing than
the
to pay
only part
somebody
I
else.
got was that one locker room scene where obviously you see all the other players, and then what sets you apart is your hat.
Yeah.
Can you go 30 seconds? Describe that character in the film.
Oh, well,
Because-
everybody else is wearing a cap like this with the alpaca
Absolutely.
that my producer, son Ian, drew for us, and we're going to make plenty of money on that. That's the mercenary me coming out. But the hat and my suspenders, I think the suspenders were a little bit from my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, Amos. I could see him in the hat, too. Probably a little bit in homage
And keep
to him.
describing this character, because eventually the
He's,
people that are
he's a
seeing
little,
this will
yeah,
see that.
he's a little off. He's a little, he's a little edgy. He's a little satirical. He's a lot like the movie and a lot like me. And but he's.
So you typecast yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Really.
How dare you
I need it.
typecast
I know.
yourself?
I need to
You
find
should
more
complain
range
to-
from the next one.
Complain to the producer.
Yeah,
Well, that's you.
That's right. But it was fun. But there was one scene that I had all my dialogue, most of my dialogue, and I'd been busy trying to put together the film and producer hat and all the other hats that I couldn't commit myself to the dialogue that I had written. And we're going through it, one cut, cut, and I guess they weren't getting all that upset because I was still writing the checks at that point. But
I like it.
it was
The name of the film and how did you come up with
Reunion
it?
108.
So how does the words Reunion 108 become the title of the film? What's the deal?
It was just something I liked, and I decided.
Is there any
Somebody asked me to
association?
change it. I said no.
But the number 108.
It's
Oh,
not
the
108.
108.
Yeah. No, I want to know about the 108.
How did you guys knew that?
Do you know what? I grew up in Queens, New York, near Shea Stadium, on a street called 108th Street. So
Ah.
it has nothing to do with me and my gang,
Oh, my
right?
goodness.
108th Street. Look it up. It's there.
Seriously, are you just
Yeah.
playing along?
And
You
there
really
was-
don't know.
and
You
then there's
know.
No,
apartment
I really
building.
don't
There's
know.
108
You
apartments.
don't know, Rich?
I grew up on 108th Street, and I don't know what the 108 is.
It's nuts.
It's the number of stitches on a baseball.
Oh, thank you.
I knew he knew. I
Okay.
just wanted him to say it, and he knew.
I appreciate it. Oh, my
I'm sure I've
God,
heard that. I
Sam.
just didn't remember
No, it's
it.
a number-
Honestly, I
number of
didn't know.
stitches in a
Okay.
baseball, yeah.
Okay. So, in the movie,
It's 2 different generations of ball players returning for a reunion. The only commonality that they have is that they both won a championship in this particular fictional Appalachian town, mountain. Town.
so it's a minor league city, a minor league
city.
town.
Minor league town.
So
yes.
that their connection is the town, but
Right.
are they 25 years apart from each
Oh,
other?
easily.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to have one group that was old enough so I could play in it, and another group was probably late 20s, early 30s.
Okay, so,
And they both played for this town.
okay, so the younger group played in the 90s, let's say.
Yes, yes.
And
and
the
the
older-
aughts, and the aughts.
And
too.
at the beginning of that, right, right. And the older group played maybe in the early 70s? Or
Late
late
70s,
60s?
early 80s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me parlay this, because baseball fans will key on it
Yeah.
because of Before the Glory, and you played in the big leagues. Couple of general big league questions. You get called up at the end of the year by the Texas Rangers, and I know we chatted about this with kids, so, but there you were.
So you'll pretend to be surprised when I tell you?
Absolutely. I
Okay,
watch
yeah,
the
that's-
tape because
you're
I
a
need an acting
thespian.
job.
That's right.
Absolutely.
But
I'm
then
gonna go.
weren't you-
Doggone it, Billy. You
No,
serious?
you were in something though, weren't you?
I was in Coming to
Coming to
America.
America, yeah.
And Ricky Lake, I
Mhm.
was in.
You still get residuals?
No, I barely
You
got on
signed,
screen.
you signed away your rights.
What-
I once watched.
Hairspray. I was in Hairspray.
You were in Hairspray.
You were in
I watched
Hairspray?
Coming to America for you like 5 times. I'm not sure I saw you to this day.
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2.
That you can obviously see.
And you were in a commercial.
Yes.
You were in a skating rink. It was
Yes.
in Rockefeller
Coca-Cola.
Center. It was a Coca-Cola commercial.
This is all going to be edited.
Okay, no, but that's okay. But because I saw a retrospective on commercials. Was
Oh
Art,
yeah, they
was
use
Art
it.
Carney?
I'm
Yes.
in love with a girl in New York City.
Was Art
As-
Carney in that?
Yes.
Who's
I
a big
saw
baseball
you.
fan, by the
Yes,
way.
he was, and
Oh,
I used to
great.
be.
I was a big baseball
Yes,
fan.
He
I.
raises the can of Coca-Cola, and there's a couple in love behind the.
You.
And I am the guy that's in love with the girl behind Art Carney and his grandson raising the can of Coke, and Rockefeller Center tree gets lit, and we filmed
Yeah.
it about 4 in the morning.
Wow.
So
I need to see that.
Yeah, yeah. I saw it.
I
I
back-
enjoy
played
actually,
for a
being a
team called
thespian as
Dr.
much as
Pepper
I
when I
want.
was younger.
Well, but anyway, it
So-
got me to get my foot in the door and enjoy acting when making money at sports was not a reality. So
So
I
do
was
you have the
trying.
film or I need to, I'll just pay you for the film.
I
so
had
don't have
film
to-
on the dating game when I was in a happy relationship, and she said, "No, I'm sending you to go to the dating game." And I went, "I'm dating somebody." She goes, "You're not listening to me. People go on the dating game for airtime, so you're
Yeah.
going." And I went, "Okay, but what if I win?" She goes, "Then deal with it. You're supposed to win. If you're good, you'll win." And I won.
Is this true?
And I went on the date. I went on a cruise.
And how long did you last with your?
My girl, I was honest with her. I did not mess with the girl on the cruise. I really, really, really didn't. I know you're going to give
You're
me
a
that look.
great thespian.
Don't start with that crap.
You're a great thespian.
the important
You're
thing
a
is.
ball.
Did you claim the value of the cruise on your taxes?
No.
No.
IRS, come and get me.
No.
First at bat in the big leagues. Home in Texas or on the road?
On the road.
Where?
I finished it in Milwaukee. Finished the AAA season in Tucson. Had one of those milk run flights where you start in Tucson, Phoenix to Chicago, Chicago to Milwaukee. And I walked into the clubhouse, saw the lineup card, and there I was leading off. That was okay. We were 5 games out, so we were contending, but it said second base beside it, and I just told you not too long ago. I still
I did
have
not
the
know
Texas.
that.
Yeah, no, second base, second base. All right, the sample part didn't bother me. Okay, fine. All right, we're ready to go. I'm young. Let's go. But second base, I didn't even have an infielder's glove at the time. I had burned that thing because it obviously wasn't working for me. But I was
Who was the
playing.
manager?
Billy Hunter.
Oh, sure.
Billy
Baseball
Hunter,
guy.
who went to
I mean,
Towson
real
State
baseball.
and third base and coach with the Orioles for a number of years.
Sure.
And so I tugged on somebody. I think Paul Hagen, the writer for the Philadelphia Daily News most recently. I said, "Does Mr. Hunter know I don't play second base anymore?" And then, so we go through and I do my running and stretching, and Richie Zisk comes to me and says something like, "It's just like AAA," which I guess was sort of a nice thing for a veteran to do, just sort of trying to relax you. And then Billy, somewhere along the line, Billy called me over and said they wanted to give Bump Wills one less at bat from his right side, Bump to switch at second baseman. So I was the bat, and then Bump was going into the game. No matter what I did, Bump was going into the game.
Oh, okay.
So, sure enough, Jerry Augustine's first pitch, sinker, low and outside, put the bat on it, lined it to right center field. Sixto Lescano dove after it, went off his glove. I'm on first base. Cheshire Acadian grin. Here comes Wills to pinch run for me. I'm gone.
Oh, really?
Day over. I have no idea what Bob Euchre thought was going on.
you have that
Well, I
ball?
pulled a muscle from.
Do you have that ball?
I don't even know, Rich.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
even know where it is. I'm not that.
Maybe Billy has it.
I know. I can tell you that Augustine is living in the middle of the mountains in West Virginia.
No
that I
kidding.
do know.
Oh.
Yeah, because Jim Rice was at the same event as you, and he held up his rookie card and he goes, "Billy, where are these guys living?" And then
Mountains of West Virginia.
Yeah, he is in the middle of nowhere, West Virginia.
That's probably not too far from where I grew up.
That's my point.
I'm from Western Virginia, which always would confuse Bump Wills. I said, Bump, I'm not from West Virginia, I'm from Western Virginia,
Western Virginia.
which is only a county difference in
You
some
don't know
places.
the
Yeah.
difference between the two
But Bump would
states.
just play along.